Hi everyone, welcome back to my mini-series where I break down yoga poses. My name is Jade and I'm a 200-hour certified yoga teacher in Yin and Yang. If you like this video and would like to follow on this mini-series, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram. I also post my weekly yoga schedule on my Instagram, so go and check them out. Today we're going to look at a pose that is in almost every yoga class. I can guarantee you that. And that pose is, drum roll, downward facing dog. So this pose was something I struggled a lot when I first started yoga. I was like, how is this a resting pose? And it's in every single class. The teachers will be like, come to your downward facing dog as a resting pose. Take 3 breaths here. And I'll be like, I can't. Can I please get out of this pose quickly? Please cue the next pose. I found it super duper hard. So whenever you're ready to explore this really hard pose with me, let's meet on the mat. To come to downward facing dog, I like to start on my all fours or tabletop position. I've seen tutorials that teach you to measure from plank pose and then lift your hips up to downward facing dog, but I find that a bit of a wide down dog stance for me. So we all have very different bodies. Our ratio of upper body and lower body lengths are different. So I don't think there is a hard rule on how to measure to your downward facing dog. Perhaps by learning the alignment and form and the muscle engagement, we'll be able to find a stance that fits best for us. So first thing you have to note is the hand and the leg placement. You want to make sure that your hands are shoulder distance apart and your feet are hip distance apart. Second thing is to make sure that all 10 fingers are spread out wide. Think about gripping the mat with your fingers and grounding the perimeter of your palm on towards the mat. We call this the Hasta Bandha, the hand lock, where you're suctioning your hands in towards the mat. Then once you've got that, you're just going to lift your hips up, straighten your legs, finding sort of like a triangle shape with your body here. If your heels are slightly lifted or you need to bend your knees, go ahead and do that. Usually, in order to ground the heels completely on the mat, there's a lot of ankle mobility and flexibility required. And to straighten your legs, you have to have a lot of hamstring and calf muscle flexibility. So if you need to bend your knees, lift your heels, that's totally fine. We want to focus more on the upper body. When you're in your down dog, you want to think about pressing your hands firmly in towards the mat, activating your arms and your shoulders, and think about sending your tailbone up and back. So not like directly vertically up or horizontally towards the back, maybe like at an angle like 45 degrees, something like that. All right, and then you want to think about pressing your chest and belly towards your thigh. So when you're here, pressing the hands into the mat, activating your shoulders, press your belly towards your thigh and your chest towards the back, send the tailbone up and back. So we're not connecting the belly and thighs here. It's fine if there's a huge gap. It's just about pressing in that direction. Think about a straight line running from your hands all the way up your arms, your spine, and out of your tailbone. And feel free to stay here for a few breaths. And to come out of your down dog, just slowly bend your knees, lower your knees all the way down and sit down. So if you're finding it hard to send your chest back, there's a possibility that our shoulders are not open enough. And one great way to open up our shoulders is to come to extended puppy pose. That's like my favorite way. There are a lot of options on how to stretch your shoulders or open up your armpits. You can just do this half Gomukhasana arms, stretching side to side, or even like lay back in your reclined butterfly or Shavasana, holding onto opposite side of elbows, allowing your armpits like a passive stretch for your inner armpits. But my favorite way is to come to extended puppy pose, having my knees under my hips. I like to slowly walk my hands forward, rest my forehead on the ground, allowing my forearms to ground completely. If you like to take this into a more intense stretch, feel free to use blocks. placing the blocks shoulder distance apart on their second level. Place your forearms on the block with the elbows in between. Join your palms together like prayer palms. Slowly walk your knees back and start to point your fingertips all the way up towards the sky, melting your chest all the way towards the ground. Feel free to stay here for a few breaths, opening up your inner armpits, shoulders, maybe feeling it on the upper back. And then to exit from here, you'll slowly lift your gaze, point your hands towards the front, grounding your forearms, slowly walk your knees towards the block and just remove it towards the side. So just to recap, in downward facing dog, number 1, make sure your hands are shoulder distance apart and your feet are hip distance apart. Number 2, all 10 fingers are spread out wide, grip on towards the mat. Make sure that you're grounding the perimeter of your palm on towards the mat. Number 3, you want to think about pressing into the mat, activating your shoulders. Number 4, press your belly and chest towards the back or towards your legs. Number 5, send the tailbone up and back. And number 6, it's okay if your heels have to be lifted or your knees slightly bent. And that's it. Your downward facing dog. I hope you'll be able to find the stance that work best for you. It took me quite some time to really get it as well. But just keep practicing, keep stretching out here and there, and maybe one day you'll find a stance that feels comfortable for you. Thank you so much for joining me as we explore downward facing dog today. I hope you found that really helpful. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up or a heart. Any questions or feedback, feel free to pop it in the comment section below. Wishing you all a lovely weekend ahead, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!